Well, hello people on YouTube, this is Saint Anger74, and today I want to do a video on a new discovered weapon of mine. So basically, what I've done is I've basically just vouched to just get my assault rifles diamond already and get them over with, and all that kind of fun stuff. But you know, it doesn't come that easily, especially with like the guns that not everyone uses, like the M8, the SMR, the SWAT. Those are my last three. No, actually no, my last two are the SWAT and the SMR because I got the M8A1 gold today. And this video is about the M8A1. So I wanted to inform people about the true benefits of using this weapon and when you should never use it. So, and I'm going to explain to you how to get the challenges fast for it and how to use it effectively and correctly. Beware, this is a gameplay from my very early testing. I only had 30 headshots according to my camo. I get my 40th headshot, I think, like right here or something. But, you know, anyways, this is from my early testing. This isn't what I came up with at the end. So what I did is I just tried all these different attachments. When I started using this gun for headshots, it already had like 12, 13 levels done. So I had most of the attachments that I wanted to use. And so I started testing them out, and I hopped into Core. And after like the very first game, I'm just like, fuck you, Core. I'm done with you. So I didn't play Core at all today. I played for maybe one match, and then I just switched to Hardcore for the entire time. Because in Hardcore, a shot to the head will actually guarantee a headshot. Now in Core, this gun takes 4 to 8 bullets to kill. And to get a headshot, you have to land like 3 or 4 of those on the head, which is fucking impossible because people are shooting you in the process. But in Hardcore, this is a 2 to 5 shot kill. It takes 1 to 2 shots to the head at any range to kill with this gun. It also takes maximum 4 bullets to kill unless he's at the farthest range possible and you shoot him below the chest. At the farthest range this game has to offer, anywhere the chest up is still a 4-shot kill in Hardcore. Another thing about this gun is so the attachments. So everyone that picks up this gun just wants to get select fire for it, right? For Core, select fire would make sense for an attachment. In this game, I'm using select fire and reflex sight, and I have 2 perk greed. I have like perk 1 and perk 3 greed, and then perk 2 just toughness. And yeah, so I'm running my usual class setup. I have those 2 usual class setups. I'm always running hardline and ghost, but I switch between perk 1 greed, toughness and scavenger, or perk 3 greed, dexterity and extreme conditioning. But I always keep toughness and dexterity on my classes no matter what happens. So that's where my setups are at. So and I was using select fire reflex, but you may be able to notice by watching this gameplay that I'm not actually spraying all that much. I'm trying to burst as much as possible, because you realize that this gun, when you burst, just like the SWAT, these burst guns become very inaccurate when you start bursting with them. When you start spraying with them. If you keep this burst, especially in Hardcore, it helps you a lot because it's ammo consumption and you can't watch your ammo in the corner. But especially in Hardcore, just taking off select fire and just sticking to the 4-round burst is the greatest advice for the M8A1. All the other attachments are up to you, but this, get rid of select fire. Fuck you, select fire. You're done. The only gun that select fire is good for in this game that I guarantee you should use is the FAL. Now, it's getting patched too, so I haven't tried it. I don't like using the FAL. I will never really use it again because I don't like using it. I don't like being such a freaking noob at the back of the map with fucking select fire FAL. I don't like it. But select fire on this gun just does not work. It just doesn't. And in Core, select fire also makes it worse, because in Core you need most of the shots to land. And bursts, the 4 rounds in the burst, they fire off faster without select fire. So select fire it combines the bursts so there's no weight between them, but the bullets themselves travel slower. So completing 2 bursts and shooting 8 bullets with select fire on takes exactly the same amount of time. Select fire is just a waste of an attachment, and it just increases recoil on this weapon. So select fire, get out. Never use select fire on the M8A1, even if you're playing core, which I don't suggest. M8A1 for core has very major disadvantages because it takes too many shots to kill. But for hardcore, this thing is a beast. So what I ended up running, I ended up putting on hybrid optic sight because that's my favorite sight for getting headshots. You can get long range with the ACOG, and you can get close range with that red dot, with the reflex. So hybrid is my favorite attachment. And the reason I took off select fire is because you can't have hybrid and select fire at the same time for some strange reason. Because you switch between the sights by using L3, and then you switch between select fire and burst fire by pressing the right arrow, if you will. But I don't understand why. But I ended up taking off select fire. I'm like, I like the hybrid sight because it's really easy for headshots. That's what I used to get headshots. And I put on, I was experimenting with grip, and I was experimenting with quick draw, and I was experimenting with a bunch of different things. But what I ended up sticking with is hybrid optic and laser sight. That's for headshot. That's my ultimate headshot setup. Because in hardcore, you can just hip fire this thing. It's a 2 to 3 hit kill at close range. So you can just spray, and if 1 or 2 bullets out of that burst miss, it's perfectly, you still get the kill. It's ridiculous. Close to the end of this gameplay, I started realizing that you can hip fire this thing, and at close range, I just decided to hip fire. And once I was getting my headshots, I'm like, let's just hip fire with laser sight. Like, hip firing laser sight on this is way more effective than doing it on SMGs. So that's what I ended up sticking with. So hybrid optic, laser sight for those headshots. And then if you want to use this gun as just the regular weapon, in hardcore it will do you some magic. And I suggest laser sight and grip, or laser sight and extended mags, or whatever really attachment your heart could desire. That laser sight is really important because at close range it condenses those bullets to the point where you could literally hip fire people at the maximum range of a shotgun. You can hip fire people with this gun. And the maximum range of a shotgun, I'm talking maybe like Remington KSG type shotgun, not S12, M12, 16. So you can hip fire this thing at ridiculous ranges. I figured this out when I was closer to the end of my headshots. And hardcore. It's this thing for core, it just does not get the job done. For core, it may be in contention with the M27 for the worst assault rifle in the game. I hate the M27 because it just literally does not kill the people. And same with this. But in hardcore, the M27 turns into a regular like ACR type of gun, killing people in 2 to 3 shots. But this, it shoots the 4 bullets in the burst, fire off before the M27 has shot 1 or 2. So this thing, at long range, because you're not putting select fire anymore, at long range, this thing has barely any recoil, but yet at close range, by hip firing, you could literally just, it's so easy to take people out. This teammate kept on killing me, so I'm like, I hate you, so I'm gonna shoot you. See, I'm starting to hip fire, I'm getting headshots without even laser sight putting on. So after this game, I decided to switch up this reflex select fire for hybrid and laser. So that's what I came up with, and that's my tips for you with the M12, the M8A1. Because it's really, really, really good. As you see, I'm getting... my impressions of hardcore was that it was absolutely impossible to get any streaks or such when I spent like 5 hours trying to get the M12 16 gold. But with this thing, I'm dropping sentries, VSATs, and it's just so easy. So just try out the M8A1 in hardcore, and I'm telling you, your KD goes up, your score per minute goes up, everything goes up. You just rock some shit with this gun, I'm telling you. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, do a lot of favorite things, stuff, and, you know, just do positive things, and see you guys later. Goodbye.